Hi, my name is Marianne Ludlow, and I'm a Utah estate planning attorney with Jones Waldo. And I want to talk today about the 4 things that you can do now to legally protect yourself and your family, especially during this COVID-19 situation that we're facing. And I'm going to talk generally, but if you have specific questions about your specific circumstance or you want to talk about next steps to move forward, you can do that at www.willstrustbusiness.com. And you can schedule actually a free phone consultation and we can talk about your specific situation. Okay, so let's talk about those 4 things that you can do to legally protect yourself and your family. Number 1, decide and legally document who would be able to make medical decisions for you if you're not able to make those for yourself. Okay, so why is that important? So if you go into the hospital with like COVID-19, but it could also be a stroke, a heart attack, an illness, you're going in for surgery or something like that, and you are not able to make medical decisions, you want to have designated somebody that you trust to make those decisions for you. And you also want to have written down any guidance that you may have about those type of decisions. Do you want artificial means or measures to prolong your life? And those type of decisions. And so it's really important to have those documented. And that's generally done through an advanced healthcare directive. All right, number 2. To decide and legally document who could make financial decisions for you if you are unable to make those yourself. Why is this important? So this is important because if you do, have a situation where you're not able to make decisions for yourself, you're incapacitated, you want to make sure that you've designated somebody who is able to pay your bills, to take care of your loved ones, or maybe use your money in order to pay for your care and things of that sort. And so it's important to think about who those people or that person would be, and then make sure you've legally documented that and documented what type of decisions that they can make on your behalf. And that's typically done through a durable power of attorney or a trust. All right, the 3rd thing to do, that is to decide and legally document what happens to your assets if you were to pass away. So when you pass away, it is already a time that is very, very stressful on the people that you love. But if you have a good plan in place and you've legally documented what would happen to your assets, it really can reduce that stress on your family. And so you want to think about, who would receive my assets if I pass away? Who do I need to provide for? How, especially if maybe there's young beneficiaries or incapacitated beneficiaries or beneficiaries that maybe just aren't good with handling money, what is the best way to pass those assets down to those beneficiaries? And so generally this is done through a will or a trust, or the most typical ways that this is done, and that's important to have done. All right, the 4th thing is to list your assets. That is important. A lot of times we think that everybody knows what we own, but I can tell you, being in estate planning for over 20 years, that is often not the case. I will have, people come to me, maybe children, and say, I don't know where my mom or dad had their accounts or life insurance or retirement or things of that nature. And so it's just really important if you can write those things down, so that if you pass away, people will know what assets that you have. And that's especially important nowadays, because a lot of times it used to be we'd get paper statements, so maybe you could go into the basement or somewhere and find those. But now a lot of these statements come electronically, so they're harder to find. All right. So another question that I get a lot is, can I do this myself, or should I have an attorney do this? And certainly you can do it yourself, but what an attorney that's experienced in this area of the law brings to the table is that they have seen what works and what doesn't. They've seen, and they can help what decisions and what options are important to consider as you do this plan, so that it really does work for your loved ones and for you, and make sure that you and your loved ones are protected. I hope this was helpful. And if you have specific, right now we're doing video meetings so that people can still move forward with this process. So if you're interested in doing a video meeting or doing a phone call, I'm going to give you a way to do that, and that's right here. And hopefully this information was helpful. And please let me know if you have any further questions. Thank you.